Welcome to Divine Honey Podcast. I am your host, your friend, Tamika Johnson.
I'm little bro, TJ. Holla at you.
Hello. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. The show is about human experiences. This includes thought provoking conversations and, importantly, our Divine Honey Podcast guest sharing stories about love, life, journey, and purpose. If you feel inspired, show some love in the chat. This is your inspirational podcast. How are you, brother?
I'm tired. I'm
What you
Ti
tired for?
red. Ti red. On the days when I gotta use a lot of brain power, I'll be hit, boy, when I come home. And I gotta
Yeah.
do a lot of problem solving and coordinating, facilitating meetings. I'll be smacked.
Hmm.
But I'm healthy though, healthy, well, thriving and thriving. You dig what I'm saying? We out here
I'm,
doing it, making it do what it do.
well, I'm happy to hear
Being it
that. I know
cool.
I haven't seen you. Did we? I don't think we saw each other last week, did we? Because
We
you was
talked
in
on
the.
Thursday, goof.
Did we? I thought you went out of town.
That was like 2 weeks ago. We did the PDD
Oh,
trial.
oh yeah, yeah. I forgot all about that. You know what I had to do? I had to unfollow Shade Room. I had to unfollow these like outlets. I am gonna follow the trial, but I need to like listen to it from like a court aspect. I do not need to be listening, reading these comments because it does nothing more but piss me off.
What did
So
you saw what happened to Chris Brown in the UK? What was that about?
didn't he have like I don't really know what happened with him. Didn't he have some charges from a long time ago
They said it was a
there?
$5 million bond.
Jeez. But I saw he was out on the stage though.
Yeah, he's back. He just got out like a couple of days ago.
He ain't gonna disappoint his fans, I suppose.
That money, he got to get that 5 million back.
Right. But what was the reason he got arrested?
I don't know. I don't even know. I didn't even know. I just saw like on the Breakfast Club. I get the little snippets on my Instagram, and Jess Hilarious was giving a breaking news thing that she had just talked to Chris Brown, and they were trying to give her a hard time. Like, you just got an exclusive from Chris Brown. You breaking news right now from Chris Brown.
I think it's something a little with the bottle. There was a bottle incident. I didn't really read all the way through, but he's kicking off Breezy Bowl. You like Chris Brown, don't you?
Yeah, I mess with Breezy.
Yeah.
See
No.
Breezy.
Do you ever watch Joe Budden podcast?
I do sometimes. I feel like, and this is my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to watch it sometimes because I don't like Joe Budden's arrogance.
That's fair.
Like, he lets it be known it's his show every single episode. Like, we don't know it's called the Joe Budden podcast. That
I'm
like
probably
that like irritates me. I don't know why. It's like, why do you have these other people on here if like you're taking it over? What's the point of having other folks like be a part of your podcast?
right. No, the only thing I don't like about it, I've been watching it a little bit here and there. Yeah, I don't like Ish. He's just
Who?
Ish.
Is that the
He's
black dude?
there's a lot of people on that podcast.
Well, you got the Mark Lamont or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, is that the mixed dude?
Yeah. He
Okay.
says he's not mixed race, but light skin.
He's like lighter than both of us.
But you can still not have two black parents.
Nah,
Like,
not be
yes, you
that
can.
light.
Yes,
Not
you
be
can.
that light.
Yes, you can.
Unless you albino.
Yes, you can.
And be that light with two black parents. Well, they got white in them. There's European is somewhere in that ancestry line.
But he has two black parents, so he says. So how
So
you
he
gonna tell
says.
somebody what they are?
There's European in that ancestry line. I'll say that.
Mm, well, I don't. He's not my fave. He's just too emotional. Like, and then there's a big thing with him and Mark Lamont right now, because Mark is like very, very smart. He's very
Yeah,
intelligent.
that's what he does. Yeah,
That's what he
that's it.
does,
Yeah,
and he, people who are very smart, and so they're gonna challenge. Well, where did you hear that from? Where did that resource? They're gonna question you, and sometimes
yeah,
it's not coming from a jacked up place. It's just an inquisitive mind and knowing your facts and giving right information.
facts. I be
So
doing that to you.
I know it's
Where you
annoying.
get that from, bro? Where you get that, huh? Show me the source where you read it so I can read that
I got it
article.
from the shade room. No.
Cause bro, people be out here just telling stories, man. People, we got to know the people want to know where you get this stuff information from.
That is true.
The real questions.
Yeah, you don't want to spread false information.
All right, facts. What's
Not
good
at
though?
all.
How's work and life and everything? You still doing the running club and stuff, or?
I haven't, but I've been walking every day. I haven't been going to the run club, but I've been walking every day. So that's been good.
That's good.
There's a park by my house, but I need to do a little more and amp it up. Um, I talked a little bit about this. I just been feeling not the best lately. And so, you're getting older, and me and Bree have talked about this about like hormones and stuff. So, you guys go get your hormones checked. Maybe go get them checked a second time. Mine came back normal. Um, they came back normal, but just getting older. I guess I'll share a little transparency. And the only reason I'm kind of sharing this is because other people are dealing with this in my age group as well.
And what age group is that?
40s.
We gotta let people know. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like
Yep,
to be.
40s. Yep, I am 43 years young. So recently I went to get my hormones checked. I've been having trouble sleeping, just wondering if I'm in perimenopause. So perimenopause is like certain symptoms, hormonal changes, things that are happening before you actually go into menopause, which you can be in perimenopause for like 7 years. So I'm thinking, oh, that, but hoping it's not that. I'm not ready, right? I'm just not
Right.
ready. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctors. I'm gonna get my hormones checked. Take care of myself, but I'm also gonna look at fertility.
Right.
And so I get I go find an OBGYN clinic. Me and her, have conversations. She goes first. We got to just see where you're at. So I go, I get all the blood work. Um, I get the blood work. I get an ultrasound on my ovaries as well. So I did have two fibroids, which they're very small, so they're not affecting anything. I didn't even know I had them. But overall, my ovaries are normal. I'm healthy. Um, so then I get the blood work back. My hormones are fine. I'm not entering in perimenopause, but they check something else called your AMH. Your AMH kind of shows where your egg reserve is, and they really like you at a 2.5. I don't know if I'm comfortable saying my number, but I'm well below it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about it. Uh, with that meaning that I couldn't spontaneously get pregnant. That's what they're saying.
Right. But I
She
mean,
gets,
anything can happen still, regardless
yeah,
of what.
yes, I know, and that's a fact. I think it was just hard to hear.
Right. Right.
She was saying like because I'm not partnered what are the options here? She said, a lot of women are going to the sperm bank, and I know someone who is doing that, and have friends of friends who have done that, and it's been great for them. But they were saying that I would possibly need egg donation as well. Now, this is just the OBGYN. So it was just like a double. And the conversations that me and the doctor had was, you try to make the best decisions, right? She said, I can't beat up on myself because, a lot of us are pushing off our fertility. So we can get in the right place, money, finances, mental stability, all the things, our careers, this and this and that. So where we went with that is, she goes, at the end of the day, this is just OBGYN. I need to talk to a fertility specialist so we can talk about what's good with me.
Right.
Now, where I was going with this is a couple of things. I wanted to see where I was at physically, because what she said is, you are equipped to have a baby. How are we gonna get it? It's just the options of how we gonna get it.
Right.
Well, honestly, just seeing where I'm at, I wanted to know where I'm at. I actually want to know, and then mentally making those decisions to accept, okay, motherhood is not gonna happen for me. So you gotta grieve that. Or see what my options are and take actions. Now, there's a lot to think about with that. This is putting me in a situation of being a single parent.
Right.
And I don't think, honestly, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No. In my situation of not even knowing my dad until I was 40. So I didn't even grow up with a father. And I grew up with a single mother. And I just don't want to, even getting sperm donation, I don't want, it's all perspective, right? This is not for anybody else, it's for me. Because it was hard for me, I don't want to pass that down.
Right.
So my point of probably talking about this, because I think when you get to a certain age, you have to make certain decisions. And another decision is, take my hand off of it, just keep myself healthy and trust in God.
That's all you got. Keep your faith
all
in
I got.
the
Yeah. And anything can still happen. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then I'm knowing other people are kind of facing this too, right? So that's the only reason why I'm saying anything. It's like you're trying to figure it out and get the information and make peace with whatever happens.
Right.
Tracy Ellis Ross, she did an interview not that long ago. And she said that, she thought and I thought this too, that I thought I would be married, and I thought I only wanted one kid. So I already knew it was going to be one.
Yeah.
And sometimes life doesn't happen the way you expect it to or want it to. And sometimes you got to grieve the life you thought you would have, and then you can move on. So you can move on to the next.
That's
to what
facts.
your life is. And you can still have great things. And I also bring this up because as you get older, you really get bashed for getting older. You're in your 40s, or, I read things, and that's why I have to unplug from those social media outlets where they see a woman of a certain age, she's not married, she doesn't have, kids. Well, she thought she was this and that, and she held out. Now she's washed up. Nobody wants her. And look, now she's alone, and she doesn't have any kids. And that's not everyone, that's not the story.
Right.
Sometimes it's not right for the circumstances. I rather not have children and than to bring them into something that's not good. And I
No,
wasn't,
that's
and no matter what it is, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
yeah, and that's okay.
And that was the truth.
Because why? I mean, respectfully,
Hmm.
because everybody has their own opinions on how they want to do things.
Hmm.
Um, why do you want to bring a child into like instability?
Hmm.
I don't think that's fair. Personally, I don't think that's fair for the child. I see it all the time with youth now in and out of the foster care system, in and out of the juvenile justice system, dropping out of high school, the fights between the child and the parent, like it gets real toxic because in raising a child, man, you even when you have a partner,
Hmm.
it's stressful. So I can only imagine what it feels like to do that alone.
Right.
Even if you plan to do it alone, especially like being a mom, because you're carrying the baby for 9 months, 10 months, however long it is for the birth, right? You're birthing that baby by yourself. Your body's going through all of that trauma. Now you have a infant who doesn't understand earth side from the belly side. So in the belly, everything's dark. So now you got to get them adjusted to daytime and nighttime.
Hmm.
You're going through healing. Your body is healing from carrying the baby postpartum,
Mm.
and you don't have any support. So you're doing all going through all of those changes by yourself. And in postpartum, there's research that supports that the mother starts to like hate the child, and it's not like an intentional hate. It's just the brain is all your brain is all out of whack because all your hormones are out of whack. You just carried a baby and birthed it, and now it's all everything is healing for like a year,
Hmm.
2 years. You're healing,
Right.
and then doing all that without no by yourself, like to the people that have done it because it has happened.
People, yeah. And there's people that do the whole, sperm, go to the
Yeah,
sperm and do it themselves. And I've heard there's some people that it's been great for them. Doing it on their own
yeah,
has been great for them. They have the resources, fine. So I'm not saying this isn't everyone's story,
right.
but I got to know myself a little bit and kind
Facts.
of my background of not having a father, not having those things. I don't know if I can do that purposely. Not
Right.
saying that anyone that does it themselves is bad. I'm speaking of my
Just your
perspective,
yeah, your perspective. Yep.
my background, and the things.
You have to know yourself.
Yeah,
And that's why I had the caveat like it has been done before.
it's done
But
every day.
but in knowing yourself, like I know I couldn't be no single parent. She. You know what I'm saying? Like it is hard work every day. And your child, as much as you want to have um, the support and everything in place, like you're tired for those first 2 years, regardless of. So your child is missing out on something in those first 2 years. Even with two parents, like a partner,
Mhm.
people are tired.
Yeah,
So like, yes, there's a lot of learning that is happening, but also there's a lot of unmet needs that are happening for the child and the single parent because
yeah,
you're tired.
yeah. So
It's hard.
it's hard.
It's,
It's a
it's hard.
hard thing. I am going to go to the specialist and do the consultation because knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And things maybe in the meantime to take care of myself to preserve what I have. Because she said essentially she goes, you're healthy and you're young and we can get you there. But do I want to get there in the ways that are
Right.
that are
Right.
those options? And also in the meantime, um, just taking care of myself because I still believe I'll be fine either way, but I still believe God will pull through, whatever that
Yeah,
looks like.
right on.
You know, I might end up being a stepmom,
Hey, that's all right.
but I talk about this as you think your life is going to be one way, and the reality sometimes it's not. So what are you going to do with it?
Right,
And I think, sometimes God blesses you in other ways.
for
But I'm
sure.
still on to my blessing. It ain't over till it's over.
Right. Well, keep on keeping on, cuzzo. Keep on keeping on.
But
Right,
yeah.
right on, right on, right
And
on.
another thing I would say, probably getting into, like, if I'm in a weird situation of I don't I'm just going through the journey blind. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do or what it looks like. Sometimes you got to do that
Yeah,
because we be trying to steer, right?
yeah. You don't got no control.
I got no control. I'm just being led. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna do the consultation, but some go, go,
Yeah,
go, and joining groups of, like, I joined Facebook groups of women having children over 40 and the things that they're doing, and you know, so just getting information and getting educated.
I mean, I think you got a couple of options. Like you're doing. You can either let it suck you dry,
Mm-hmm.
or you can take the power into your own hands and seek out communities like you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, it's being done.
It's being done, yes.
Is it hard? 100%, but it's being done. So salute to all the women over 40 having babies, single parents. You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all, man, because it is being done every day.
It
But
is.
it ain't easy being
No.
cheesy. You did what I'm
No.
saying.
But I got all these god children. They all growing
Yeah.
up though. There's
And you got a
almost no.
couple nephews.
Got a couple. Got a couple. I actually have a couple nephews. I have some nieces.
Yeah.
So
So it's there. You can
it's
take Kingston any summer you want him.
he ain't ready. When do you think he'll be ready?
Probably like 5 or 6.
I would take him. I would have so much fun. I would take him to the zoo. I'd take him to the pool.
You would have to take like a week off of work though.
I would. It would just be me and him hanging out.
Yeah.
I let him eat whatever he wants.
That's cool. You got to deal with it. And we ain't gonna be there, so you got to deal with it.
Oh, he could have play dates. We could find him a little play date. Oh, I have a friend for him here. Olivia, my best friend's niece. Me and her can do a play date.
Yeah,
She's like a couple years older than him. I think he likes older women. I think
he
it'd be
does. He's like his papa, his old man.
fun. But yeah, do you have any sound advice or feedback for your big sister?
No, I just think, dude, like I said, I think you can either let it soak in, you can soak in it and let it destroy you,
Mm-hmm.
or you can grieve it, move on from it, learn about it, join communities, talk about it in those communities,
Mm-hmm.
get the game from those communities. Like it's there. Those resources are there, but you got to be willing to embark on the journey of doing that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're getting there.
Yeah, but did you see when we started, I was kind of hesitant to even talk about this.
Yeah.
Um, because you get afraid of being ridiculed. Like, why didn't you do this when you were younger, or focused on more being in a relationship when you were younger, or this or that? Here's the thing, everyone has different, paths. And I always think about mine. I feel like I've had to kind of, if this makes sense, break or correct or reroute some. I don't want to call it like a curse or generational curse. Not gonna call it that. It's
Just had to change the narrative.
yeah, of like just how being brought up,
Yeah.
what you're around, and like healing
Mm-hmm.
the inner child, which sometimes takes a long time. And
It
I just
does.
don't think I could be in partnership with someone. It would take a very special person because they would have to had a lot of patience for me, but that's not fair to someone else. It was just, or bringing a child into that. Um, it was just a road I had to travel alone.
Yeah. And
Does
you
that
made
make
it. You seen it. You making it.
sense? I am. But here's the thing. I'm going to get married one day. That would be great.
Well, you got to first stop ghosting all the men that are trying to talk to you. I think that might help.
That might help. I'm doing better. I'm responding. I'm talking. I'm going out on dates. I'm doing better, you guys. I'm forcing myself. You get so used to being alone. You be like, oh, they ain't talking about nothing. Let
Yeah,
me
I don't
finish
even want to
watching
deal. I
this
don't
TV
even want to deal
show.
with it. Yeah, right. Facts. That's real.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. And then talking to Bree is always, it's been very, very helpful. I'd be reaching out to her on the side about some stuff.
Yeah, we probably need to get her on the old podcast again here sometime.
Yeah, because she's very knowledgeable about the body. But I just want my nephew to have like a little. I know he has cousins, but I want him to have a little brown cousin.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he need a little African American cousin.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Poor guy. But
He'll be alright though.
he'll be all right. He's fine.
Hmm.
He's a good baby. You said no, he's not.
I mean, he acts just like me at 4. That's the problem.
Okay, give me an example of how he acts like you.
He talks like me. He walks like me. He talks back like me. He's like getting like it's kind of crazy. He's getting like witty
Yeah.
at the age of 4. It's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, he's what like his body's shaped like mine. It's crazy. That's a little twin.
Yeah. He's been such a heavy. Wouldn't you agree to this? He's been like a real blessing to our family.
For sure.
Kingston.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You don't think so? I mean,
Yeah,
he's brought more happiness to my life.
you only see him once a year.
I see him twice a year, and I call him. I see his face once a week.
Nah, I'm giving him a hard time. He's cool.
Hmm. That was sweet. He was sweet that other day when I talked to him on the phone.
Yeah,
He was actually
you
nice.
got to catch him. You got to catch him in the mood, bro.
I caught him. You didn't have
You
to
catch
make him say hi to me. You didn't
you
have to
catch
make him say he loved me. He was like,
yeah
"Love you."
you catch him in the mood, man. He's so moody. You catch him in the mood, he's in tune with it.
Tim, that's that Johnson. Cause I'm
That's what
moody.
Cartelia says too.
I can be moody as shit. You gotta but I can actually verbalize and say, "Hey, my attitude really isn't right." So I'm like, look, let's let me just go.
Right,
Well, that's all I got for today. Do you have anything to leave our peoples?
man. Just keep being kind. We don't know what anybody's going through, so just be kind.
Please be. I do want to add this. I have friends and stuff. They're experiencing a lot of grief, a lot of loss. Um, yeah, be kind, and also, when we say I'm praying for you, make sure after you say that, actually say a quick prayer.
That's what I was about to say. Like that's what I heard someone say this like a couple years ago. They'd be like, "Man, I always say I'm gonna pray for people, then I forget to do it." So he's like, I think it might have just been Big Sean. Actually, he's like, I
Hmm.
just do it right there on the spot after I get in with the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice.
Okay, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. And then if you guys have any want to be a guest, have any topics you want to discuss, email us at bougiegirl@gmail.com, BOOSHEGURL@gmail.com. Also, I'm moving slow today, y'all. Also, if you enjoy the show, please like, share, and hit that notification button. On YouTube, you can also listen and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The links are in the About section. I'll also put them in the comment section. And until next time, you guys, Peace and blessings.
Peace.